Hi, everybody. I'm Grace Bubeck, and this is the Awakening from Love as Love retreat. Interesting mistake. The Awakening as Love retreat, and I'm speaking with Mooji. Mooji joined me from London. Welcome, Mooji, and thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Grace.
Yes, yes. It's been an amazing experience, Mooji, because the fact that people can participate live is really quite amazing. You know, it makes it very interactive.
Yes.
And so it's almost as if we were on retreat with you. Not quite, but you know, almost as if.
Well, I've seen the marvels of the internet now. I read a sample, some experience
Yes.
with it, and I see that it is very effective, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Yes, it truly is. And you know, I'll just launch into the conversation. I don't think you need introducing. Everybody knows you, and people are just very, very, you know, thrilled. I had so many emails telling me how happy people were that you were on the retreat.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. So, Mooji, the theme of this retreat, Awakening as Love, is very close to my heart, in the sense that, you know, there can be an understanding of non-dual teachings, which is that it's about awakening, and awakening seems to be in the mind. And you're one of the teachers who really often points people into the heart.
Yes.
You know, I've heard you say, all you need is to have a yes in the heart. So could you maybe say a bit more about what you mean by that? How that could be awakening?
Yes. Well, first, you know, I've encountered so many people who have, at some level, grasped, you know, what the masters have pointed to, and they have a sort of intellect that can grasp that in a very powerful way. However, something still remains, you know, very entrenched identity still remains there. And it has often been pointed out that an intellectual grasp or, you know, a sort of theoretical or mental grasp or understanding of what is being pointed to cannot be, it is itself phenomenal.
Yes.
And though it counts, it has some weight, some impact, you know, it is not complete if the ego sense still persists and is given a certain undue attention, I would say like this. So when I point, I just simply say that we must come to this inquiry with a yes in the heart. And at first, people sometimes they are not quite sure what I mean by heart, you know. And I know that very often heart is indicated in spiritual parlance, you know, as a sort of like a center of feeling or something. You know? But I want to make it more deeper than this, as heart as being the very core, the very source. Now, I cannot give an image of source, but I believe that it is sufficient to say, you know, to say yes in the heart in this way, because it is not necessary to have an image of what is meant by heart. Just in the most profound way, that it is a felt, it is also felt in some way, and even this, you know, it's a little bit, it can be easily misunderstood, you see, like it must be a feeling. Sometimes I try to, as much as words can imply, I said, yes, it's a bit like a feelingless feeling. And I find even this also is phenomenal, you see. So I say in the beginning, to say that one comes to this with a yes in the heart, it simply means that you're willing to leave everything for this. When I say leave everything, I don't mean necessarily physically leave something to go to somewhere else, but to have an attitude of leaving aside all our conceptual investments and identities and so on, because there's something in us that can respond to such an invitation to say, just you must come to this with your full heart, or yes, it's that you. And I've seen the miracle of this, you see, that sometimes people say, I don't understand what it really means, but yet at the same time, it is shifting some deep sense of blocks inside my being, and I'm finding myself more in a greater space, which is unqualified, but somehow we see like this. So there is, it doesn't rely on our sort of factual, analytical mind in that way. More of an intuitive prompting.
Yes.
I feel that it is very much at the core of human response.
It's almost like, it bypasses the mind. I mean, the mind being so dominant, and somehow the yes in the heart can sneak in there.
Yes.
Even though the mind is so used to being so dominant, but somehow that yes in the heart allows something to come in.
Yes. We will see as we carry on how that is going to make itself known, felt. I don't know how we can say, because I know that as we speak about these things, there's a coming aliveness in our interactions, and people will begin to feel that, if I can use this term, it will have a greater strength, a greater sense of profundity when it touches that space behind the mind.
Yeah. Mooji, maybe I can just share with you my own journey, which has been an illustration of this, in the sense that I was very much in my mind. And I fell in love with my teacher, Ganga. And there was just this, it was beyond my doing, it was just grace. And my heart just opened so widely. And the yes in the heart was so full. First to the teacher, but that shifts after a while. Because also it was a yes to truth. And so when you talk about the yes in the heart, I just, it's so obvious to me that needs to be there.
Yes.
And yet people still have this understanding that somehow awakening is something that happens in the mind.
Yes.
Because also, the mind sometimes does open, and there is this kind of falling away of the rational mind and the vastness that reveals itself. So that can be true too.
Yes.
How do you see those two? Is that a question of just individual beings opening in different ways?
We can put it like that. In the end, what happens is that we're so profoundly impacted upon by grace. I can use another word, grace, or the impact of seeing, a clarity of perception,
Mm.
that it blows all the cover on whatever identity has been parading as the self. It just gets underneath that,
Yeah.
and uh, it's as though one becomes a bit cocooned. Although you're broken open, it's as
Mm.
though you're in another way cocooned in some kind of universal, transparent uh, thing.
Mm.
Uh, and every gesture, every response arising from you is in this field, this attitude of yesness.
Mm.
Easy. Um, where one simply does not rely any further on one's egoic identity. And there's a lot of movement going on, and we see that it's ungraspable in terms of trying to use the sort of conceptualizing tendencies of the mind to try and figure things out. That
Mm.
seems to collapse also.
Mm.
There's just a sense of being, and I'm speaking now from my own experience in this, that there is this falling aside of any individual effort. Like so, there was some still left because I still felt, I really just want to come to the end of this. I want to just go to the
Mm.
end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, you know, if there was going to be a course that was going to take 6 months, it would have been seemed too long for me.
Yeah.
It is like you're being kissed by your beloved for the first time, and if you were told, "Look, I'll kiss you again in 6 months," it would just be just unbearable. You see, it would have to be
Mm.
like it's all now. So there's
Yeah.
this all nowness about one's attitude, and that
Mm.
somehow has a tremendous force, a great power
Yeah.
to just pull you in to this emptiness.
Mm.
And that may take however long it may take. That's where it may vary from
Mm.
one in one form or another. It may vary in terms of, something may be slowed down by still some reluctance or some a feeling of wanting to continue with some aspects of our personal identity, or a fear presented in the mind as, sort of entering into some great black hole or something.
Mm.
People are variously put off in one
Mm.
way or another. It's all to do with their own unfolding. So there may be some variety in that.
Yeah.
But in my own case, that it was simply like it was that it's everything for me. It's everything. It was that clear.
Mm. Mm.
And of course, the ego sense doesn't uh, just vanish immediately. It hangs around, trying to pick up some stray business here and there. People do that for a while.
Mm.
But really, the countdown has started in some way. And one is still moving in a certain space of spiritual naivety for a while. There are things that has to be um, just put on a slow wash, and other things are just kind of blasted away.
Mm.
And it is so vast, it is so amazing that there's a spontaneous sense of just surrendering everything, because you're not a pilot here, you know,
Mm.
and you know that. And this is
Mm.
why I use the word grace, because I felt that I've used the term of a sense of sitting on the lap of God,
Mm. Mm.
um, and um, and simply coming into a feeling of observing life, participating sometime,
Mm.
and identifying and feeling the hand in the fire and the pulling back and all of these things. It takes a little while,
Mm.
um, however long. What I
Mm.
knew in my heart, there's no such thing like going back, seeing like it didn't even occur to me. This is just an idea that came much later when people mention these things.
Mm.
It's such a ridiculous notion. There was no back to go to. It's not, there never was a back to go to.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also because what one has opened to is so real.
Yes.
That everything else just fades in comparison.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's not totally unreal because there is this human reality, you know, but it's.
But it's real enough to change your life in a flash.
Mm-hmm.
It's powerful enough to do something like that.
Yeah.
And there are things that can happen in life where our life seems to rotate in a very powerful movement.
Mm.
But it's so thorough. And although you're flapping about for a while, it may be like this, you're flapping about in the hands of God, I put it like this. So something kind of knows this.
Yeah.
Something knows that even in the most seemingly precarious moments, the most severe, throbbing pulsations of the mind, of the psychological mind, that you're still being held somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you continue to be open because even though there are experiences that will be felt to be painful, there is a deeper, reassuring presence somehow that
Mm.
it's all for the good and that it needs to happen, whatever it is that's seeming to be happening. Like just needs to fall out or just be scraped off or whatever it is, it has to go through that.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
has a sort of intensity of power and beauty,
Mm.
severity, the beauty, and just an amazing sense of love. And I always try to remind those who I have the opportunity to speak with, you know, that don't panic in the eyes of fear only. Just be aware also that you are in this great embrace.
Mm.
That voice which call you is still you. That until the sense of separateness
Mm.
emerges into that.
Yes.
So the feeling of separation itself becomes conceptual. It will still fade in and out for a while. It will still
Mm.
pass in and out. But the light is dimming as time
Mm-hmm.
passes.
Yeah. 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 It's certainly, it's my experience too that somehow all that is happening, all that has happened, has somehow chipped away at this old habit of, trying to figure out what to do and how to planning my life, and all that was operating before somehow just kept having to fall away because life didn't unfold that way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as that falls away, there's more and more sense of being in the lap of grace or the lap of God, that there is an unfolding, and that I am held in that I don't need to worry, you know. I
Also,
don't need to
the
I
one,
don't need to
one
figure it out.
that's still where this identity is still drawing some life,
Hmm.
who is capable of worrying now and again, is also a fading light. It is
Yes.
also thinning away, and with it goes the tendency to be afraid, which comes in all through the feeling of separateness, separation.
Hmm.
So we are being undone from several different directions.
Yes. And
The encouragement is
isn't it?
always the
Sorry.
encouragement. The encouragement for me is always just to stay in that yes,
Yes.
because the yes is for me is so powerful. There's a
Yes.
new sense in yes. It's not dressed in a lot of sort of techniques and
Hmm.
metaphorical magical kind of camouflage. It is just there's a simplicity, not a naivety, but a simplicity in that, and nakedness in that. And it really, it feels as though if there's movement still to occur, they do happen much more quickly.
Yes.
Because there isn't the sense that I need to approve of what is happening or not. When that eye is out of the picture, everything is so, it's, you know, it's blooming. Even in winter, it's blooming.
Yes. Yes. And it can be so joyful to just say, well, you know, here it is. It's happening, and yes, yes, that's what it is. That too. Before I met my teacher, for several years I had a practice. I still had practices at that point, and the practice was every time I felt an inner no, a resistance, to replace that with yes. And it actually turned out to be very powerful because, you know, it's almost like I got into the habit of saying yes, and I created an opening that then could become so much vaster.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, my sense is that even though I had a long journey, I mean, for some reason that was all part of it. And I don't question that really anymore. I mean, it's just like, well, that's how it unfolded here. And it's still unfolding, you know, there's a deepening, there's still a letting go of so many things.
That letting go, it will continue for as long as it needs to feel like this. But we must always be, at the same time, the awareness that although there can be a sense of maturing happening in our dynamic expression as life, but that all that is taking place against the background of unchanging awareness. The kind of paradox there, because pure awareness, the source from which the dynamic movement or explosions of life take place, the source itself is unchanging. And that must not be felt as it's somewhere over there or at the back somewhere here, that is a reality. It is the reality. The dynamic aspect expresses as this as duality, and I don't see duality as a mistake. I don't see it like that. I see that there is no experience without duality. Yes. But that within which even experiencing is being experienced or perceived, one must not lose sight of that, because that is the very ground of the consciousness itself. So that whatever at some point, whether the unfolding appears to be pleasant or unpleasant, it is it all comes to be seen as phenomenal. And there's such a tremendous freedom in this. To burn the last, to burn even, I call burn even the ashes. Yeah. You're not seeing. And these things are not easy to grasp. Simply, as you mentioned, use the word logical level or something like this. These are for beings who are actually inside living exploration into truth. That they will come to recognize this more intuitively, to sense that, so that we don't give too much energy to the traffic of perception. But to be aware that even the flow, the manifestation of world, of life, of our sense of self is occurring inside the unchanging.
Yes.
And that is our living truth.
Mooji, I so love just being here. It's getting harder and harder to talk.
You better bring in some of your listeners.
Sorry?
Maybe you soon have to bring in some of your listeners, some of those who are wanting to. But I understand what you speak, of course.
Yes. Maybe I just want to bring up one more thing, which it feels very important to me. You know, there's the doing has changed very dramatically. You know, it used to be that I did things because I had an idea to do them. And now it's like, you know, the organizing of this retreat, for example, it just arose to do. And the doing just keeps kind of arising. And that's how it all happened. It's like, you know, there's just a sense of there being a movement arising out of stillness, out of nothingness, out of that vastness. And it's just very different from doing that is planned or that is thought of.
Yes.
Yeah. I
When
wonder why.
when the sense of the worship, when the sense of the identity that assumes to be the one who conducts, you know, any kind of physical activity or mental, we can add the mental or emotional activity. That identity itself will gradually dissolve and must dissolve. And then one sees that the movement of existence of life is not at the mercy or not aided by any human agency. It is simply the activity of the vital force, or you may call God's will or whatever. Even the actions taking place in this body, they are similarly just simply playing themselves out, activated or prompted by some inner power that is moving in that way. And this is what I was indicating before. Some people, if you have a strong sense of identity, still, although they are likely to be feeling I'm in living a spiritual life and whatever, but as long as the sense of personhood persists in the form that I am this person and I have this kind of autonomy, the full truth will not be grasped like that, because we still feel that some things we do, we decide, we make happen, and so on. And it would feel like a living truth. Of course, it feels like that, because on every level of expression, the consciousness is there also. But when one comes beyond that identity, whereby even the superficial play of identity occurs, but it's not given that kind of importance, then because of the lack of feed, the lack of attention and identity and interest, it also just thins out and leaves an emptiness behind here. And this emptiness, I always am calling everyone into the direct experience, which is always here, but is overlooked easily while the attention is moving towards another moving target, another phenomenal fascination or something like that. So it is so important to recognize and to be one with that the unmoving.
Yes.
Because it is so obvious in some way. It is obvious, but yet it is not obvious until it is obvious. But when it is obvious, then somehow all trouble fall away.
Yes.
because all problems are personal. So as soon as the impersonal self is somehow recognizes its own inescapable reality, then everything falls in alignment with that seeing.
Mm. Mm. Yes. And it really is, it really is a grace. It's not something that can be done. When it's seen, it's seen. When it's
And I don't separate grace from
sensed, it's
ourself.
sensed. Mm.
Grace and self, same thing.
Yes.
There is a movement. Once we are, our being is in response to that deeper calling. It wants to fulfill itself right into complete emptiness. In fact,
Yes.
the natural evolution of that pull is into total emptiness. I'm using the word emptiness because it's not a bad one. I mean, absence of quality to transcend,
Mm.
uh, qualities. And at the same time, I want to reassure that when one is not identified with the qualities, one's full being is still here
Mm.
in the most profound and beautiful way.
Mm.
There's a little bit of quality held on to somehow, believed in, is a single thread of root that will keep on spreading to try and come to create another sense of separate I-ness.
Mm.
Nothing to be afraid of, but I have to speak out like this, because
Yeah.
the attitude is so powerful. I mean, everything is attitude. With
Mm.
attitude, we determine what is true and what is untrue. The power of insight also.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you.
Um, you know, in some ways, it's very hard to continue talking. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe we should just go to the questions,
Yes.
because I just want to I just want to I just so enjoy being
Yeah.
in that spacious being, that it really does get hard to speak. So I think it's my time to shut up. Mooji, I will look at the YouTube comments and see what questions show up there, and I will read them out to you
Good.
one at a time, and then we'll go to the people who are on live. So Anthony in New Mexico asks, Mooji, what is the correlation between the open heart and teaching truth?
What is the correlation between open heart and teaching truth? I'm not sure if I grasp what you are meaning by that. What is the connection you mean like this between open heart and teaching truth?
Maybe he means the open heart and truth
Uh,
as something in the mind.
if heart is not taken merely to be, as I said, the seat of feeling, if heart is really taken to be the core of one's being, then it is synonymous with truth. It's the same thing. It's just another way of saying truth. Also.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
In Sanskrit, I'm not a scholar of Sanskrit. I just picked it up where it was necessary, a few words that people mentioned, and I was not clear, so I went to check them out. So the word, and Master also pointed this, Haridam, meaning, as is expressed there, the heart, not as an emotional seat or something, but as the very core, the essence received being, sentience, truth. Because we have to remember we use many words, and if we are not careful and we rely on the mind, we may think we're talking about many different things. Whereas very often, the meanings are so much, being expressed in different concepts. And the mind tends to want to make each concept like it's a unique thing. But I say this why I said grace and self, they are synonymous. And I use the word love or heart, truth, pure consciousness, Atman, all of these things. It is the same thing for me. Let's keep it very simple. Very simple.
Okay, let's keep it simple. Paul Boland, tell me how to deal with suffering. My whole life has fallen apart. I know it's growth, it just hurts so bad. Thank you, Mooji. I love you.
Suffering is also, it is necessary also to experience, to go through very painful or intense experiences, without which we just roll along the surface of the ocean, in fact, and not really discover its depth. I mean, the wave and the ocean, they are one. But, we can say the waves belong to the ocean. It's not appropriate to say the ocean belongs to the wave. The wave is only what I call time and change and so on. And it is important because until we are gone beyond the need for help and so on, until one discovers one's full being totally, then it is important that we experience challenges, painful experiences will come, and if you are smart, you will use them as windows or mirrors to discover your true being. And I remember something that, because you use the word suffering, and it brings to mind an example I often share with the people who come to see me. The occasion was a satsang that took place in Mumbai, in India, at the feet of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, where the master was speaking, and someone stood up and said, sir, if I may say, I am touched by your words, but I have to admit, if I'm to be truthful, I am always experiencing suffering. And the master retorted and said, no, that is not true. You are not experiencing suffering. You are suffering, you're experiencing. You see? And for me, it was a very explosive pointer, you see, because it totally changed the perspective. What he actually did was handed the power back to that person. He says, there's no such thing actually as suffering. It's not a fact, it's more of an attitude. And so it's not that, and also it's a choice, it's an option. Because it's not that you're always experiencing suffering. You are suffering, you're experiencing, and that can change. Nevertheless, I wouldn't want to pressure people to tell them, look, or you're suffering unnecessarily and so on. Every case, will receive its appropriate attention. But this person has just asked whether they can, how can they, what was the question particularly? You remember? How can you...
Hold on. I know it's growth, it just hurts so bad.
Yes.
He said his whole life has fallen apart.
Yes, and life has to fall apart sometime. It's healthy that life falls apart sometime. Otherwise, and my encouragement is when the life is falling apart, you are the witness of this falling apartness. Hold on to that, and don't lose your eyes. Be strong, and experience this falling apartness. Even welcome it, but don't identify it. Welcome it means that somehow you allow it. You feel that it's going to bring about a deeper, a more profound understanding in you. If you approach like this, it will, in fact. Yes. But if you complain and feel sorry for yourself, you'll miss your chance. and you will label it wrongly, and then you miss a beautiful opportunity of seeing. See? So what I would say, if it is a grief over an incident or something like somebody has left you or something like this, right, as an example, then I would say welcome that and really burn in that fire. Burn in that fire. Or something is burning in that fire. And I would like you to discover who it is exactly who burns in this fire. Because it is not your essential being that burns. It is only the idea you have of who you are that will burn. And this is why I say, step into this fire of self-discovery. This fire will not burn you. It will only burn what you are not. And it is very important when we are going through or experiencing these type of very intense experiencing, that a voice is there to remind you just to be quiet as much as you can, observe without identifying. And it will transform what would probably otherwise just be a painful, forgettable experience into a very powerful point for transformation or transition or for a burst or flowering into wisdom. So, don't reject the pain. Let the pain there, but don't feed it by identity. The more we believe and hold on to identity, which is what tends to happen when we're going through intense experience, the more we intensify them through what I would say identifying with them and being personal about it. So I don't know if you can pick through what I've said there, but if you follow the thread, you'll find that this could be a very, very helpful experience for you, and may really be one of the forces that really send you home in the most beautiful way. And then you will one day perhaps even thank this experience and say, thank you for this. Thank you that this happened, because if this had not happened, then what now is, taking place in my life, I would not have, I would have missed it altogether.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Mooji. I will speak to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I know it's been true in my life.
Yeah.
Very trying experiences of various kinds have actually served to clear out stuff and served to bring me home more deeply. Yeah. But we need to hear this. We need to hear it many times until it.
We hear it many times.
Clicks home.
Well, in India also, some people have discovered the Gitas. Many people discover perhaps the Bhagavad Gita is probably the most famous of them. But there are the Gita, the Ashtavakra Gita, the Avadhuta Gitas, and so on. The Gita is like a song, and it is as though, and it is very repetitive, because it says that we learned ignorance actually through repetition. And so the sages somehow they are singing. It's almost like a song. They are not teaching actually. They just speak out of their joy, and it puts so much light again into the world. And yeah, repeating.
Yes.
You may get it on the second or the third or the first if you are really fortunate, but it may be 103rd time. Whatever.
However many times it takes. So I'll take one more question from the YouTube comment thread, and then I'll go to the Hangouts, the people on the Hangout.
Okay.
Veronique says, Mooji, can you explain how to take decisive decisions in our lives, feeling that everything is perfect anyway?
Mm. I think that decision making is highly overrated. It's an exaggeration of true life, in fact. And often it is a sprouting out of the kind of mental tendencies, psychological tendencies of the mind. Um, uh, Habits also. Habits is largely at the root of a lot of decision making. We have not learned to be still, and I would like to take this call as an opportunity, to express something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very often, it is clear that very amongst in the human kingdom, trust has lost a lot of ground. We don't trust life, because we have replaced trust, which is instinctive to us, by somehow strategy and to plan and to sort of to try and carve out a life and to sometimes attack even life, be aggressive and to seize things and to to climb over people to get them. So we have lost something, or we are losing sometimes something which is so beautiful in us, is to trust the life. But how do you trust something that you mistrust now? You see? Now, I say a simple way I point out, first of all, is that we are living in too much haste. And so what happened is, at the root of it is, again, identity. And taking ourselves to be too much this body-mind entity is at the root. And I will come to that perhaps more if I've given more chance to do that. But to keep the question, Territon, to the point, um, we are acting often prematurely, so that we perceive a situation to be challenging, and some discomfort come, and there's some notion functioning in the back of the mind that if you don't act soon, you're going to miss your chance, or it's going to be too late, and then somehow things will get worse. And there isn't a contrary voice encouraging uh, other than this. But I want to put it like this because if you don't panic so quickly, and then, or don't pull your parachute open too early, okay, so that you just wait and you go past your usual time of reaction and let the mind slow down. It will be uncomfortable in the beginning because of habit again, and panic will come, like, oh my god, you must act, you must do something. These voices are being thrown at us sometimes from our parents, from society at large, or something. And so what happened, we are pushed into premature activity and decision making. It's a very mental thing. But if you slow down and just be quiet and pay attention just to the sense of being and be in that sense of being until the mind energy slows down, also the physiological energies will slow down also, until they meet somehow this kind of cosmic plateau inside in each being. As soon as that agitated energy reaches that ground, the grounding energy, then somehow everything sort of opens up. And your eyes, all your powers, they open up in a beautiful way, and you just come to know what is to be done. And it's not a decision. A decision is often challenged by our own doubts. Did I make the right decision? What if I acted too early, and so on. So we want to get out of this trap. So beginning even a contemplative or more meditative life or lifestyle or something is going to help a lot of people. But if those who can hear me now, I would say um, you are there to watch your actions and reactions and interactions. If you don't identify or buy into them, into the suggestions of the mind, you'll find that something gradually slows down. In the beginning, some panic will happen because you have to let your mind pass your panic button moment and slow down. And as you go past, you'll find that your whole energy field is changing. Something becomes more wide, more quiet. I really invite you into this. Come into this. And when you meet that space, you will know it. You will feel very well. And the sense of urgency and panic will disappear because it's not true, it's not real. And the more we keep up this tendency to meet life in agitated states of being, the more it will seem as though we create these situations and they follow you around. But the contrary, when you learn or observe in the way that I've just pointed out, you gain so much natural confidence and a sense of trust in life that you come to see that life takes care of life. It has always done. But we have never given it the chance. You want your mind to take care of it. It just creates more agitation, more doubts, more resistances, more anxiety. So I feel I've given a very good clue there. And I'll ask people, please follow it and see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mooji. That's very good clue. And, you know, when that activity calms down, my experience is that when it comes time to do something,
yes,
it's very clear.
Yes. And it's very different from the actions that come out of decision making.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I will say something further than this, that when the activities that are arising from the tree of life, like this, let's say, rather than from the projecting from kind of a mental and psychological activity and mind, that which arises by life naturally, if you observe, you'll see if a thing needs to be done, forces come unexpectedly in the form of other people sometimes, or other beings come somehow to facilitate the happening to reach its fruition. You know? You will notice it, in fact. And this will give you tremendous encouragement. You will see that, wait a minute, I am one with life. You won't have to believe this anymore. You will notice it. You will observe it, and you will experience it. It will become a part of your truth. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Mooji.
Okay.
I'll take one more question which caught my attention. So Fire says, do I need to worry about my addictions, or will consciousness take care of it?
Yeah. So the question begins there. Do I need to worry about my addictions, or did it start earlier?
Or will consciousness take care of them?
Of my addiction. You know, again, this question is based on an assumption that I cannot let go. I cannot let this assumption go. Because if I let it go, then I'm not really helping you. The assumption, and you have to do a little bit of work on this. The trouble is not so much the addictions, but the one you identify yourself to be. You see? Please take a little time over this, because it is worth every word and every breath I'm putting into it. The addictions is not for the pure self. The self has no addictions. Your pure being has no addictions. The addictions is coming out of the idea you have of who you are. The identity which has been created through the body mind and conditioning. Now you must somehow try to understand this. Do some research on me, or look up what can he be meaning, what is he speaking about, because you assume this is me and I have this addiction, and how will consciousness help me to overcome this addiction? First answer I can give, if you want a quick answer, if you don't want a deep answer, I can tell you, yes, consciousness will help you somehow to get over this if you are sincere. You see? It will help at that level, at the phenomenal level. But I would like to point you to something much more direct and much more powerful that will not just answer and address this particular predicament or problem, but will give you the master key to every problem. So it just depends on what you're open for. If I say to you, yes, of course, you keep on trusting in God, trusting consciousness, and gradually, somehow, you'll find your way slowly coming out of these things. It can also be rapidly also. Or you can follow what I say to you, that first of all, your pure self, which is your God self, your true self, has no addictions, has no sins. It is pure, pure consciousness. But out of that pure consciousness, the consciousness has painted a self-portrait of itself as a person. And it has fallen in love with its self-portrait. And this self-portrait is suffering from its own projections. We have to go to the root. You have to discover who you actually are. So it sounds like this question is being put by someone who has not really as yet entered satsang. Because if you are in a satsang, your teacher should help you already to point out this mistake already. Otherwise, they've missed a chance and is treating you as though you are the one with the problem. And that is not good, because then it will only perpetuate an identity which is not real, which you will have to get rid of in the end. So you may have to get knocked about by what I said for a little bit, but grace is with you. It's going to open up something inside to a much more profound understanding that will address both the question you've asked, but it will be much more all-encompassing and will bring you to a higher state of consciousness. So if you want to find out more, you can watch some YouTubes, because I'm always talking about this thing. Wherever I get the chance to slip it in, I will do it. I don't want to keep addressing you like you are this person with this problem, because I don't believe this, and I don't want to speak something I don't believe. You are not a person. A person is just a costume you're wearing. You are consciousness. When you know that you are consciousness, when you come to know this, that you are consciousness, your problems will be much more easy to dissolve. A person trying to change a problem is a very, very difficult thing. You see? But you may find that once you discover who you are, the seeming problem is much reduced in intensity and becomes so small a thing that it vanishes by itself without any effort on your part. This is the miracle of real seeing. These things do happen.
Mooji, I feel somehow compelled to ask further on this question.
Yes.
What if the person who asks, what if he or she actually has that yes in their heart, and there is an opening already there, but somehow they're also still struggling with addictions?
Yes. Then what I said is totally appropriate, because, you know, I can only speak in accordance. I have no planned speech. I don't know what I'm going to say to anybody.
Yes.
As it comes, somehow, as my heart is prompted to speak, I will speak something about it. You know, because sometimes the answer that we think we need to get is not the answer that comes. And I always feel I try and give you the simplest thing and the most direct thing, if I can. If I feel that there isn't sufficient space at the moment, or spiritual muscle or something, or alertness, then something will sense that, and then I'll drop back a bit and see, because I don't want anyone to leave feeling, oh, that was not useful at all or something. But at the same time, I cannot help that. But I feel that somewhere, either for this questioner or someone who's listening, this question is very, very at the core of our conversation. It has to be.
Okay, good, perfect. If that's the answer, then the strength must be there.
Yeah, sometimes you get an answer. Sometimes you may get an answer that may seem to throw your mind into confusion for a bit, but it's still okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everything, not every response that's going to happen is going to just smell of roses. Sometimes it completely, throws sand in your engine. And but it will be fine in the end. It will be just fine.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
taking care of it.
Okay, so I'm calling on Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'm bringing you onto the broadcast and the hangout. Can't seem to bring her on. Hold on. There you are. Hello, Elizabeth.
I am seeing some faces very vague at the bottom of my screen.
Yes, I'm just bringing on Elizabeth here. She's hello.
Elizabeth, I can see you.
Yes. So, Mooji, you can press on the thumbnail to bring her
I
up
can
on the
see
screen.
Elizabeth now. Hi,
Yay!
Elizabeth.
Yay!
I can see you. Hi, hi, hi.
Yay!
Very good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
I
you hear
can.
me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, darn. You can't hear me? Darn
I
it.
can. Yes, yes, yes. I can hear
Can you
you.
hear me? Testing. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you. He can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Poo, poo, poo. I think everything's okay. Can you hear me, Mooji?
He can hear you and he can see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead, Elizabeth. Ask your question.
But you can't hear me, right? Hi,
Yes,
hi, hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
Hello.
yes. Can you see me?
Yay!
Yes.
All right,
yes.
I'm shutting off YouTube. Mooji, how are you? I am so grateful. I did your retreat 18 months ago and silent from home in the cabin in the woods. And you would have laughed to see me do the laughing yoga. I was the crazy one out in the forest. It was so fun. I love the retreat. Thank you. But it's like I wish you would just push me into the fire because I feel like I got over the top and felt the oneness with everything and got frightened. I got really frightened. I thought, I don't want to go away. It sounds so stupid. And then I sold everything. I am making more money than I ever have in my life. I live so simply, and I just can't. I don't know what I can't do. I just lead a very quiet spiritual life, and I'm like, I think there's more. I don't know. There's more, and so I'm looking for help.
Yes.
Can you push me in?
Yes, I can pull you in. Yes. Can you hear me?
It's so funny because I can't hear you for some reason. I
Ah.
have to go to YouTube to hear you, I think. So maybe I'll take my question off so I can hear you.
I don't know. I am not so technical, but I would love to answer your question.
Elizabeth, can you maybe hold on?
Can you hear me?
I'll take off her video. Maybe that will help with the audio.
Okay.
You said
Elizabeth,
all of that.
Can you hear us?
Elizabeth, can you hear? Can you hear me now?
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not able to hear us.
She's not. She can't hear us. Okay, so I'll let her go. Sorry, Elizabeth. It's
okay. Listen, I'm going to address this question anyway.
yes.
Okay. Because I'm sure there are other people who are asking similar thing, and I feel that there's things I'd like to share. You know, it is not uncommon that after some profound insight, uh, some jerk happens where, you know, somehow strong resistance comes, great fear comes, lots of inhibitions, anxieties come. And people say, but why should something like this happen, you know? Everything seems to be going so well, so beautiful, and then this very unpleasant change. You know? And I said, well, you know, first of all, it is not uncommon that it happens like this. Perhaps there is a power inside that works for that works at trying seems to bring our attention only to rest upon daily life, upon our terrestrial existence, upon our identified personal existence inside. There is also a greater power inside that is the door through which you will enter the higher realms of consciousness. And so very often at moments like this, when one experiences a breakthrough in understanding or seeing, and everything seems to be going well, and suddenly it's as though you're being ambushed by some force that comes in as great fear. And this happens to many people. And right there and then, they are so scattered, they're so somehow agitated and so fearful that they rush back to the mind, they rush back to the whole identity, like this, or they're thrown back into that state. And but as soon as they go back into the old state of mind, they felt like they missed a chance. Or in some case, they feel, oh, thank God for this. You know, that was almost a near-death experience for me, or something. So how these things happen, I can only say that it is very good if you don't just accept that, oh, I'm having this wonderful experience now, but stay in the position of that formless witness. If you're simply just observing without identifying with anything, and don't try to define yourself or hold on to any self-image, then your powers to observe will remain very, very sharp. Don't choose one state over another state. This is a natural thing that will happen, that as soon as you feel a sense of elation or sense of great peace, you want to have more. You want, oh yes, yes, I want to be like this. So I am now encouraging that when those states come, be aware of them, let the joy be experienced, but don't identify. Stay only as the witness. So that when an alternative state comes in, which it often does, you will not feel that you've lost something or gained anything. So this state of neutrality that I am pointing to, there's a tendency to overlook this and to go for to be biased towards some state. This is a natural thing. But often what happens is that you get a sense that you got something and then you lost it. Whatever is got, you may lose. Whatever you lose, you may gain again at some point. But they're all, for me, they're all phenomenal. Meaning that let them come and go. Let them come and go. And you stay as the witness of that which comes and goes. When you are the witness relative to what is being seen, the witness is a very stable state. Be one with that witnessing. And gradually you will find that this rocking back and forth, that will become insignificant for you. And that will be a very powerful state of transcendence in itself, leading ultimately to your pure state, your pure nature. So I hope Elizabeth has heard that, or comes to hear this. Other than this, it is good if you can to be in an environment at least for a couple of weeks where you have continuous satsang, where you're in that kind of field, the energetic field of satsang, and to be in the company of beings who are called by the same voice and who are in a similar state of inner research or something. And that kind of environment will very much be supportive. And so you will go through your ups and down movements, the fluctuating movements of the mind, without panic. Get used to it. And one of the greatest ways where the mind gets transcended, the psychological habits of the mind gets transcended, is when their activity becomes insignificant for you. When the mind's activities become insignificant, when you have no interest in them, then your freedom is not far away.
Thank you, Mooji. And I think Elizabeth realized that she needed to listen on YouTube on the broadcast. So I'm sure she heard you.
Very good.
If she didn't, she can watch the video afterwards.
Okay, okay. Is it okay for me to go from different people, or you do this? You make the choice.
I need to bring them on, Mooji. Okay. So I will bring on Stacy.
Stacy, okay. Hi, Stacy.
Stacy.
Hi, Namaste.
Oh, I know, Stacy. Hi,
hi, Mooji. Hi, beloved. So happy to see you.
Yo, same.
I'm so happy. I didn't think I'd get on. I had a question prepared, and it's I'll see if it comes back up because it fell away. But what's happened since I left Monty Sahaja is that it feels as if the person and the identity has just vanished more and more, and there's just spaciousness and more emptiness and no.
It sounds like, because you even the question you prepared for me seems to have sort of vanished as well. So I would just encourage you to let everything keep on vanishing like that. Don't try to hold on to anything. If you do, and it's important enough to have this experience, because there's a shutting down, there's a fear that, oh, I don't want everything to vanish. I don't mind choosing the things I want to vanish. But grace may take many things away from you, and be very, very happy about it. Because if everything is taken away, everything remains at the same time. This is something that you have to have the courage enough to find out. So let everything go. Have this attitude. Yes, take everything.
Yes.
Including the idea I have of who I am, my self-image, all of these things. Let them go, if it is your will. What a powerful opportunity. What a challenge. Because there's a side of ourselves, of our mind, that says, oh, no. Let me keep this. Start to salvage some certain things and want to throw other things to the fire. But a liberated being throws everything to the fire.
Yes.
This fire is the most beautiful fire. When it comes your way, you're very fortunate.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Stacy. Beautiful devotion and powerful transformation through that.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. At your feet always, Guruji. Love you.
Love you, love you.
So, Stacy, can you leave the call?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll bring on Jan. Hello, Jan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Jan, very good, Jan.
Hello, Mooji.
Hi, hi, good, good.
Very good to talk with you at least. I've been following your videos, I don't know, for many years.
Yeah.
It started as called Ramana Maharshi, then I found out you, and it's, oh, it's been very, very good, very changeful. And I wanted to ask really, well, it's as you described earlier, said that there are ups and downs, and seems like lately I'm going up, and I'm again going down, and there are like some boundaries, mental boundaries, and I'm trying to tap this out. And
can I come in? Can I intrude? Can I interrupt?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, please.
I'm going to tell you and all who are really available to hear what I'm speaking. These ups and downs, they have been going on for thousands of years. Okay? Nothing new about them. Okay? So don't make any big deal about it. Ups and downs is just the waves of the mind. They flow like this, up and down. You need not, when they're up, if up means when you're in the height of your joy, and you feel, oh, it's so wonderful, everything is so wonderful about it. And when you're down, if you move into the depth of depression and feeling, oh, I don't know where my life is going and whatever it is, I want to tell you, all of that is simply phenomenal. It's just the ride of the mind. You put yourself more in the position as the witness of this up and downness, but put more attention on just being the witness or the witnessing consciousness, which is quite neutral. It is like the stage on which this up and downness moves along, and don't pay so much attention to the comings and goings of your projections. And you'll find that in a short time, very, very, very short time, actually, you're in a very even state. And this is the most important thing, to be in that even state where when the mind goes up high, into a high, very jolly state, then you don't feel, oh, I would love to be like this all the time. Don't identify with any of these states. Let them come and go. Because they are very superficial states. If you give too much attention to them, you will stay on those states, and you're going to have a bumpy ride. If you stay in a state of neutrality, then they will become more and more insignificant for you. As they become more insignificant for you, you will find that your state of being is becoming much more balanced, harmonious. You'll be happy for longer, almost totally unstressed, and you'll keep it up, and you'll find that your whole life will be transformed in its dynamic expression. So I'm very happy to give you this very simple answer. It works every time. Don't pay attention to the comings and goings, moods, feelings, projections, ideas about past and future, all of them. All nonsense.
Yes, it's crazy
Don't worry about these things. Let them come and go. Don't try to stop them. Don't try to suppress. No, let them come and go. Let them come and go. But you pay attention to the witness of the coming and goings. And rather than trying to tell the stories, you're trying to find the footprints of waves. Let them come and go. And you tell me if I get a chance to speak with you again, or you can write to me if you are not much happier, much more silent, much more peaceful when you've done that.
Oh, I believe I will, because I know what you're saying. Yes, I don't have anything to say.
Yes, yes. And there will come a time you don't have anything to say at all. Also, very, very beautiful. It doesn't mean that you will not speak again. It just means that you will not speak so much on behalf of the mind anymore. But you will speak from your heart, and this, many people are waiting to hear you speak from the heart. They don't know that they will, but many people are waiting to hear you speak from the heart, to see you as your heart.
Thank you.
Very good.
Very happy to talk with you.
Yes, yes, same.
At least I could. Well, maybe I'll see you someday in person.
Oh, yes. Well, you're seeing me now, too.
Yes.
We are in real time together. This is something very beautiful. And this is one of the beautiful things I've come to be happy about technology. Is that we can have a moment like this. I don't know where you are, but we're in real time together in this moment. And that's something that's beautiful.
Yes. Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you so much, Jan. Very good. Very
Goodbye.
good. Bye for now.
Thank you, Jan.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you for leaving a hangout and making place for somebody else. Wonderful. Okay, Mooji, I'll bring on hold on. I need to find him or her. Les Crew. Are you here?
Les Crew.
Les Crew.
Les Crew, are you here?
Hello. Oh, hold on. I haven't been able to bring him or her on yet. No, sorry, that's not going to work.
At the moment. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll bring on Jeanette.
Jeanette? Hi, Jeanette.
Hello, Jeanette.
Okay. Mooji, I'll bring on
Somebody has there. Jeanette, you need to turn off your YouTube broadcast.
No, Les Crew, I think, needs to turn off. I can see Jeanette at the moment.
Okay.
Hello, Jeanette.
Hi. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, Jeanette.
Oh, hi. I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
My question has to do with how to stay in the self as as you deal with other people's I'm really nervous, but other people's perceptions of you. And I find I can stay as the self until I'm being kind of perceived by other people, and then it's much more difficult. And I guess if you could talk about that.
Okay. This is happening like that because if, for instance, I could not imagine, say, if you were speaking to the Buddha, he would say something like that. He would not say, I really, it's easy for me to stay as a Buddha, but if I start to speak with other people, then I really lose my Buddha focus or something. They would never say that. They could not say it. Nor would Jesus Christ say, like, sometimes I really feel I'm the Son of God, but At other times, really, sometimes when my disciples are giving me a hard time, I really don't feel like the Son of God at all. You see, I don't think they're ever going to say anything like this. And why would they not say it? Because there's no doubt in them at all. You see? Now, that's not to do with belief, that, oh, I believe, I believe. It's something much, much more powerful than belief. It is knowledge, it is recognition, it is something that is so powerfully clear inside. Now, when I look at you, Jeanette, what I see is the self, pure self. And that pure self is unchanging for me. Okay? But somehow, how the self is behaving in that body, which we call Jeanette, okay, is that it seems to believe that it is a person in that body. Okay? It's believing it's a person. And so when it believes it's a person, already we call it dreaming. That it is dreaming, it is a person, I'm a girl, I am, sort of 19 years old, or what, I don't know how old you are, whatever, but I'm just an example. And I am, I live in such and such a place, or whatever. Now, this is not true for the self. The self is universal. It is pure, it's perfect. But when it has adopted a body as its anchor, and when it is adopted the conditioning that took place around this body as its life, and then it says, I'm a girl, I am so and so and so, then it picks up qualities which are not actually consistent. It picks up a sense of self-definition, which is such a restriction for it. So in the beginning, the consciousness, which is painted a self-portrait as a person, is going to speak like you do. It's going to say, sometimes I feel I'm the self, but when I'm in the company of other people, especially people who have projections towards me, I'm not able to stay focused. You see? Because you believe that being yourself is something that you have to do. But you are going to discover, I hope very soon, that you are just yourself. You're not just your person. The person is only like a costume that you're wearing for a while, an identity, and your identity keeps changing also as we grow in life. What you used to believe you were and how you would define or describe yourself some while ago may have changed. But something in you is unchanging. And I'm speaking to that unchanging one. Because that unchanging one I know very well. That unchanging one is divine and very, very profoundly complete. But it's learning through this conditioning how to be a human being, but at the same time how to remain divine. In a way, it sounds like that, until it discovers again that I don't have to do anything to be what I am. When it discovers I don't have to do anything to be what I am, then it is called a Buddha. Then it is called, something like that, or like a Christ, or the Christ consciousness, or the Shiva being, or whatever name you want to call it. It's all the same thing. It means you're free of that limited idea you have of self. And satsang is precisely to serve you and to guide you again to the recognition of who you are, not the creation of who you are. Our identity, personal identity, is a creation, but you are the uncreated self, actually. And it may sound like, whoa, what is that? I mean, it's you. Something in you is totally timeless, cannot die. It doesn't even need to grow. But there is some part of you, what I call your dynamic life, your dynamic expression, which does grow, which does evolve, which does experience and continue to mature and to refine its consciousness. So in a sense you are both, but your personal expression is more time-bound, limited. I want you to discover your unlimited self. When you discover your unlimited self, you see, then these things like people saying anything about you, this and that, it will not trouble you. When it doesn't trouble you, you see, when it doesn't trouble you, in fact, then what will happen is that your very presence, in fact, will have such a beautiful impact on the beings around you, because you will not be so afraid, you will be fearless and full of love also. This is a natural thing for you. You are someone I would very much like to welcome to satsang. To say, please go to satsangs. I don't know where you live or whatever, but do attend some satsangs. There are many wonderful teachers in the world and so on. You will find somebody.
Yeah, well, I wish you would come to America because
yes, I want to come there.
It's difficult to. America's so separate from all the other countries.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot further to go, so it'd be great if you could come to. I've seen a lot of people say.
You are not that separate. You are not that separate. It can seem you are that separate, but you're not that separate. You can drop this idea. You are very, very much included in the everybody world that we are living in. And we have some Americans here also. Some American, we have quite a few American people, friends also, who are also here in satsang. But I will come to the United States. I like it when I go there. I enjoy, and I feel that it's very easy for me to somehow. I see many beautiful things happening through satsangs in the United States. So it will be. Where are you living? In which part of the United States?
It's Rhode Island. Newport,
Island?
Rhode Island.
Is in the East Coast or West Coast? Or what?
It's in the East Coast. It's the smallest, one of the smallest.
Yeah, that's easy for me.
Yeah, near like New York, like 2 hours, 3 hours from New York.
Okay. Well, I think we will meet one time soon.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
I hope I didn't get myself into trouble for saying this now.
Well, you just set up an expectation in everybody in North America.
Because I feel something, you see, I feel something. We've been talking a bit about that for a little while now, because many friends, many truth seekers also from the United States. I particularly enjoy my visit to the East Coast. Also, West Coast, I went to California a few years ago. But the East Coast is easy for me, and also we are having friends up in places like Montreal and so on. So that's easy. And I've been on the East Coast, New York, and even down south to Washington and places like that. So I very much enjoy the United States, and yes. When I see beings like you who are searching, and I think somehow it is so much joy for me to somehow try to open the curtains or something on your seeing, and I very much would like to come. So we will see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jeanette, for calling Mooji to North America. I look forward to seeing you there too, Mooji.
I think I'm not in trouble for myself.
Okay, I think we may have time for one more.
Okay.
One more person. Trying to find Marit. Marit, hello?
Marit?
Yes, hello?
There she is.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you see me and hear me?
I can see you, and I'm not... Yes, I can also hear you, of course, otherwise I couldn't hear the question. I will first of all thank you because you answered a question in a tea satsang about what does the heart mean.
Gotcha.
and now it's going about heart and love all the time. And I understood the question because all those words are not really important. It are just words, and the meaning is coming from a person. But I still have, when I close my eyes, I know the vastness and everything, but when I open my eyes, it's different.
Yeah.
So it's easy to connect with it when I close my eyes.
Yes.
And it's...
Yes. You see, I would like to change that view. I disagree that it is easier. You should not hold on that it's easier or more difficult. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
That somehow in the physical world functions for the moment as a kind of distraction. So when you close the windows to the outside world, so to speak, then it's more easy to be without objective perception, and then you feel immediately in a space that you feel, yes, now I'm in a state of presence or something.
It's connected.
Yes, yes. You can try also just blinking your eyes like that and see if it makes a difference. You close your eyes, open, close your eyes, see if it makes a difference. And then you'll see that it makes no difference.
No, it makes no difference.
Yeah, you see? Because sometimes the people say, when I close my eyes, it's fine. When I open, oh my God, it's the world again. Just say, just close your eyes, open your eyes, close your eyes, open your eyes, close your eyes, open your eyes. And you see that there's something here which is never closed nor open. It's just always constant.
Yes, it is.
That's the one that sees even seeing.
Yes,
it's
I know.
Both seeing and non-seeing. It's seen by it.
Yes.
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 This is the one.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. This one has no trouble.
No, this is never has trouble.
Yeah, this, you see.
But it's always so strange that I already knew it, I know it.
Yes.
And then I open the eyes and I'm looking around. I never liked persons. Also, as a child, this is a beautiful earth, but I never liked persons.
Never liked persons. No. Well, actually, you know, persons are not likable.
No, I understand that now.
Presence you like.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You see? Yeah? Because actually, a person is actually a bit of trouble. You know? Whether it is your person or some other person, it's usually a bit of a psychological noise. Judgment, fears, all these things. They are following the consciousness like a shadow. And the consciousness is believing itself to be persons. So it causes a lot of trouble. And for myself also, you know, we grew up like that. I feel very close with people. I feel very always close, very easy to be with people. Huh? And then people used to say, "Oh, Tony Muyang, he's a very nice guy. He loves people." Then, as later time come, I saw that when this change happened, I saw that it wasn't so much people that I love. It is the presence in them. It's the presence in the body that I love. It is the God in the body that is love. You see? And the person is just like a mask. But behind the mask is the Supreme.
Yes.
And that is the source of the love itself.
Thank you. Yes, I see. Thank you very much.
And that is what we love inside the farm. But when we believe ourselves to be the person, and you believe inside another body is another person, and you have tasted what a person tastes like, you know, they're not so tasty. Okay? It's the presence you like. It's the presence. The presence is the divinity. It is the spirit inside. You see? Not what the spirit believes itself to be, which is personal. And then comes pride, arrogance, judgment, fear. You see? bias, and all of these preferences, attachments, desires, all of these come, and they don't make a beautiful smell. So somehow we spend a long time to get out of that person trap. And of course, the consciousness sometimes is in a state of personhood can be very beautiful. There's some person it's quite nice for a while, but always some weakness is there. Something hiding, something to come up, some little trouble. Something goes wrong and then the whole thing collapses. And it is good because through the pain of being a person, consciousness returns to itself, to self-recognition, and completes, transforms what is an ordeal into a joy. I would put it like that.
Thank you.
Marriott, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. In life.
Very good.
Okay. I will see you again in the online retreat in London.
So, okay, very good.
But I do it online.
Yeah, it's good, it's good.
It's good. So, bye.
Bye, darling. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Marit.
Bye, Grace. Thank you for making this retreat.
Thank you, thank you.
That's really my joy. It's wonderful for it to be so alive with, with so many people being able to join live.
Yes.
Mooji, I saw a question on the YouTube thread that I think I'd like to ask you.
Okay.
Kasha says, please tell us, Mooji, how to find the courage to give up everything, let it go entirely, and follow the path of the heart.
Okay. Good question. First of all, I'm not inclined to tell people to give anything at all. Many things, it is very difficult. If you hold on to the notion of being a person, the person is often an insecure state of consciousness, and that insecurity makes us cling. And so to give up feels like, oh my God, I'm giving up my protection, I'm giving up my security. You see, like this. I don't feel it is necessary in the beginning to focus on giving up. I rather more focus on who you are. When you discover who you are, you discover who you're not. Or when you discover who you're not, you discover who you are. But in any case, when you discover who you are, okay, many things will be given up automatically without any strain. They simply drop away. Like sometimes people come to satsang and they find that just after 1 or 2 days, many things, they lose interest in many things. And I ask them, do you regret losing interest? They say, no, I'm very happy because I see that it was not so important, these things. And there was a strangeness that why I'm holding on to these things. I don't know why I was holding on to these things, but somehow some power seems to remove them. This is very good. You see? I would rather say this than to tell people give things up, because I don't believe they can do it. And not so easy, you see? If you can do it, it's because grace is already working with you. You see? But I will not take someone who has worked for the things that they own and so on and say, oh, you have to give it up. I said, no, that will be giving an obstacle to them, a difficulty to them. But I'd like you to feel the joy and the freedom from the very beginning, how simple it is. You see? So the focus would not necessarily be on with some people, they have that something is in their presence that makes me say, this, yes, just drop all of that, throw it all out, throw it away. Meaning throw it away mentally first. Turn your attention from this. And they can do it. But some cannot do it. So I don't want to make it like this is some kind of condition that has to be met or fulfilled. I said, no, don't focus on that right now. Just focus on that which is aware of all these things. All the comings and goings, all the in and out of focusedness, all the sense of time and change and all of that. But itself is constant. itself is unchanging, or it's a sort of field of neutrality. Just be aware of this first. And I have a very simple exercise that sometimes I ask the people to do, which is to, everyone has the sense inside, the feeling I, or I am. And this I am is the most important of all things learned. It is the first shape of knowledge, is the sense I am, which means I exist. Nobody taught it to you, not even your parents. Your parents didn't teach you that you exist. It is already there with you. And this I exist feeling announces itself in the body in the form I am, which is a quality of presence. And I simply say, just be with that sense, I am. But don't create any imagery around it. It's just a sense of presence. And don't allow it to connect with any concepts or any intention or any image. Just try that. So some people in the beginning, they find it difficult to concentrate. I said, don't worry about it like this. Just stay in the feeling I am. It's the most simple thing. And gradually, this noise or this distraction will calm down, and you'll just be in a state of being, not a contrived state at all. It's a very natural feeling of wellness and spaciousness and a natural joy. Stay with that joy. This is what I say. And very quickly, it makes whatever other thing you want to do in spirituality becomes very simple and easy once you're aware of the feeling of being, the sense of being, and the unmixed sense of being, and that is the key. Start with that. Everybody can do it. Doesn't matter what belief you come from or no belief or whatever, because it is the most simple and the most natural sense in us as life itself. So that would be something I would be an exercise that I think people will enjoy and get a lot out of it to start with. And as you go more deeply into these things, some people get much more mature in their seeing, and then I try to finish them all. But in the beginning, then I don't want to assume. Because many people, they say, oh, you've been you've watered things down and so on. I said, I don't feel like wasting my words. I speak with the people according to what they can understand. So my master's master, Sri Ramana Maharishi, that's exactly what he did. He spoke with each person according to their present capacity and like that, and addressed them in ways that they could comprehend and could sort of like assimilate and digest or whatever. So that's all that happens. When one is in a more advanced stage of looking, awareness, and so on, then it's also a deep joy to close up shop.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we have 3 minutes left, Mooji. Do you want to take one more question, or
yes. You can fit 3 minutes. If you can fit 3 of them in.
Okay, so I'm going to call on Anju. Where did I find him? Yes, Anju.
Are you there?
Yes. Hello, Anju. There she is.
Anju.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
How are you? It's great to talk to you. I'm really okay, we have very less time, I think. But to just be in this room is really so exciting, and I can't believe that this is the reality that I'm talking to you.
Very good. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in US presently. So sorry.
No. All is good. All is good. Very happy to see you.
Yeah, I too. I can't express how I'm feeling. It's really a great just to have a word with you. Yes, I just want to ask because I have never done any religious practices or I have never been really very much interested or attracted to. I'm basically Indian. You must be knowing that we have that type of culture.
Yes.
And only the thing that I have been doing is to see myself, that what exactly is going on inside, not myself like as you are speaking. I have never been able to see myself as that. But yes, definitely I have been able to see the energy, that power inside, coming from inside, that helps me to overcome any type of circumstances in my life. Whenever problems come, somehow I can overcome them because of that power that is coming from inside. And I have faced many problems, like it will come definitely in their life. It will be good, it will be bad, everything. But I have everything taken as like a challenge that, okay, it's coming from teaching me something. So I have to learn something out of that particular situation. And at present, I'm quite happy, I'm calm, and everything is fine in my life. Maybe it's fine because I don't take tension about anything. I don't worry about anything at all.
Yes.
But still, I don't have the experience of like how I can reach to the self that you are speaking about. How I can know that, how I can be more closer to that, or maybe how I can be that.
Yes. Yes.
Can you just guide me in some way that where? Yeah, I want to listen from you.
Well, in the shortest time we have, I can do like this. I can ask you, for instance, to just for a moment to leave aside all your ideas that you have about who you are. This I can ask. Just for a moment while we're talking now. Just let go of all your everything from the past for a moment. Don't hold them. Don't hold on to them. But consciously just say, okay, I don't hold on to anything at all, any shape, nor any self-definition at all. So that I'm a young woman, I am from this part, I'm from this place, I'm doing this. No self-descriptions or definitions. You can simply leave them aside, leave everything aside, okay? And anything to do with the future, after I finish from here, I want to do this. So all these things, just leave them aside just for a moment. Okay?
Yeah.
So no intention at all. So your mind becomes totally empty, empty of any kind of projection from future or past, and from any sort of self-description or any self-definition, and from any form of expectations of what may happen or anything. Okay? This is good. And I see you can do it. Yeah?
I can see that darkness, like it's not just a peace. I can find out that peace every time because I'm really not worried. Like I don't see anything what is going to happen in future or what not.
When you say I, when you speak and you say I am not worried, I can see I, who do you take yourself to be in that moment, in this I that you speak now? Just slowly, so we don't have time for that. Yeah, when you say I, who are you speaking as? As a woman, as anything? When you say I, what is the content of the I that you are speaking as?
Yes, I try to find out that after seeing your you in YouTube, I just try to find out that I could find one great energy power, whatever you say inside, and one thing that is watching it, that is as an awareness of doing the thing. I'm doing something. Something is like this body is there, or I'm related to someone.
Does the awareness itself refers to itself as I?
That's what I feel. That's what I feel when I see inside myself, because I don't relate myself to anything.
Yes. So
I'm actually nothing. That's what I feel.
wow. That is good enough for me. Because this nothingness, listen, this nothingness is not the regular kind of nothingness that people talk about. You're nothing, you're this. That's a kind of psychological qualification. This nothingness is kind of empty of all concepts, all dualities, empty of identity, empty of gender, empty of religion, empty of belief, empty of past or future. Would that be the emptiness that you're speaking about?
Yeah, I feel so.
Yes. Well,
see, it felt like that. That's what I had actually sent a letter to you, also email.
yes.
That whether this emptiness is really that emptiness what you are referring to, or it is a mental emptiness. Like I can't make out that.
But listen. If it's a mental emptiness, you will also be able to perceive it, no?
Okay.
Isn't it? You will see, even if there was a black hole, it takes something to be able to be aware of this black hole.
Yes.
You see? That which is aware of anything at all, does it have any shape or any size?
No.
You've experienced this, and this is your experience now.
Yeah.
And that is simply what I'm pointing to. That is what that's what the pure self is.
Okay.
Still, the personal sense comes in with a personality, with likes and dislikes and preferences, but those are also observed within the great space. That is the awareness, isn't it? The awareness itself does not have a personality.
Yeah, it doesn't have personality. It's nothing. That's what I refer every time. What I feel, there is nothing.
Yes. When you recognize there is nothing, do you feel afraid of this?
No.
No.
No. But if I sometimes am in, I feel like closing my eyes and just be into this, that sometimes the heart beating starts very fast without my any action.
But
My heart.
when you close your eyes, something sees, something perceives you closing your eyes. It perceives the intention of closing the eyes. It perceives that physiologically the heart is beating faster. All of that is perceived. But that is not affected at all by any of this.
No.
Where is that now? Where is that awareness now? Where does it live? Where is it?
It's every time there. Yes. That's connecting me to the world. This awareness only is connecting me to this world. Yes. That's what I feel.
Yes, that awareness is connecting you as what? You are what to the world? You said that awareness is connecting me to the world. Who are you?
I mean to say that because of that awareness only I'm able to see the whole world. I can see this, I can connect to it.
You being what? What are you?
What am I?
Yes.
I am that awareness only.
Right. I'm very happy to talk with you.
I too, I'm so excited. I was just thinking how I can meet you and maybe I can come to your place, but it was not possible for me in present conditions.
Yes.
It's really a great God makes everything happen.
Yes.
Really, I'm really so happy.
I am also very happy, very, very happy to see you.
I hope we can meet
We have met
in body.
But in the body we will meet. Yes. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Really great to see you and talk to you.
I'm very happy. Very, very happy.
Thank you.
I won't forget you.
I too, I cannot. Anyways, God is everywhere.
Yes, God is everywhere. It's very beautiful. Thank you. Very happy.
Thank you, Grace. I should thank to you also for conducting such type of program.
Very good, very good, very good.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Too. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mooji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being so clear and so just so so present in the heart, so just so real. You've just brought so much grace to this retreat. I'm very full with this, and I want to apologize to all the people who wanted to ask questions. There were a lot more questions, and a lot more people wanting to also speak to you on the Hangout. So, unfortunately, we can't have you answer everybody, but I just selected people as it came to do so.
Yes, yes. And I can say to all of them that your urge, keep your urge alive. This urge alive, because this urge and this life that's inside the urge, no? It will transform many things. It will somehow wipe away the things which are not relevant to your search for truth. And just keep that there. And don't fall too much for the mind's questionings and thoughts on like that. Just somehow you came here. Don't feel in your heart disappointed at all, because the grace is very much with you.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me to join you today, and all those who looked in, and whether you had your question answered or not, your question is answered. Is absolutely answered.
Yes. Like, the questions are really the same from everybody, and in answering somebody's question, you're answering everybody's question.
Yes, yes, yes. Very good.
Thank you, Mooji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
yes, very good.
I look forward to you coming to North America.
Okay, let's see. Well,
you got yourself into trouble, like you said.
What can I say?
So thank you again, and thank you to everybody for attending, and we'll see you in about 3/4 of an hour for the next session with Gina. Bye.